Hi kiddos, we are going to continue on with our unit of measurement. This is lesson 5 in unit 8 and it is going to be assigned to you on Tuesday for 7:20, and you will need to make sure that you turn it in to me by Wednesday for 8:20 by 3 o'clock, please. I hope everyone is doing well, and we'll go ahead and get started on this lesson. When we're working with conversions again, everybody has their green sheet, their fluorescent green piece of paper that has all the different conversions on it in your homework folders. If for some reason you can't find yours, I've also included the pieces of that you need. You will need the customary unit of liquid volume, and then the customary units of length. We will be working with both of those today. I have sent you the paper assignment, the student worksheet, the homework and remembering side through Teams, and if you're not finding it there, I also sent it to your parents in email format. As we get started, we're going to use the same format that we have used in our classroom with me teaching math. And we're going to work through the homework side together, and you can see that here. And I've also included at the top of the page here, right up here, I've included the customary units of liquid volume, because that's what you're using for this page. And then when we get to the remembering side, you'll see that up top I included the customary units of length for that page. As we start with the homework side, I'd like you to use the customary units of liquid volume measurement chart that's up on the right-hand corner right here as you complete these. And I'll do a few with you. And remember, this is like with all of our conversions. At first, it might seem a little bit difficult, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be just fine. We have problem number 1. You can see I zoomed in, and it says 2 pints is equal to 1 quart. Well, one of the things that you can think about here is finding 1 quart on your chart at the top. And you can see right here that we have 1 quart. And you want to know how many pints are equal to that 1 quart. So you're going to move to the right, and you're going to see right there that 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. When we look at number 2, it says 4 quarts, okay? 4 quarts is equal to how many gallons? So we're going to go up to our chart again, and we're going to find 4 quarts on our chart. We have 4 quarts, and I'm going to go from quarts to gallons. So here I'm going to move to the left, and I can see that 4 quarts is equal to 1 gallon. Then we have number 3, which is 2 cups, and it's asking us 2 cups is equal to how many pints? If I go to my chart, I can see 2 cups is on my chart, and I can only move one way with cups, so I'm going to move to pints, and I know that 2 cups is equal to 1 pint. So you can kind of see how to work those units of measurement when you are working with liquid volume. The same thing that we've been doing when we are working with all of our different units of measurement. And it's just kind of practice, and using that chart is not too difficult. Looking at problem number 4, it says 3 quarts is equal to how many pints? Well, if we look at our chart and we know that 1 quart is equal to 2 pints, then 3 quarts would be equal to how many pints? Well, to go from 1 quart to 3 quarts, we multiply by 1 by 3. So we have to take our pints and multiply that by 3. So 1 quart is equal to 6 pints. We're going to move down and work on number 7. When you look at number 7, it asks you how many quarts are equal to 52 cups. And if you go up to your chart, you can see that there are 4 cups in 1 quart. So I need to take my 52 cups, and in order to figure out how many quarts there are in 52 cups, I need to divide it by 4. 4 goes into 5 once, and then I subtract. 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Bring down my 2. 4 can go into 12 3 times without going over. 4 times 3 is 12. Do my subtraction, I'm left with nothing. So my answer is 13 quarts is equal to 52 cups. We're going to complete number 10 together as well. That was one that might be a little confusing for some of you. It says 11.5 gallons is equal to how many quarts? Well, we have to go up and we look at 1 gallon is equal to how many quarts? Well, we just did that, so it's 4. So if in every one of those 11.5 gallons, I have 4 quarts, I need to take my 11.5, and one way that I could write 11.5 would be 11.5, and I need to multiply that times 4 because there's 4 quarts in each one of those 11.5 gallons. 5 times 4 is 20. Put down my 0 and carry my 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And then 4 times 1 is 4. Remember, when you're multiplying with a decimal, you find how many numbers are to the right of the decimal, and you count them. Well, we have 1, so we move our decimal in 1 place to the left, and my answer is 46. There are 46 quarts in 11.5 gallons. I'd like you to take a minute and pause the video and work on 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12 on your own. We're going to move on to write a fraction. And if we look at number 13, we can see that it says, what fraction of 1 gallon is 1 quart? Well, we can look at our chart again, and we have 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So what it's asking us is 1 quart is how much of that gallon. So if in our 1 quart, I'm going to do just a little drawing here, if in our 1 quart, or our 1 gallon, excuse me, we have 4 quarts, what fraction is 1 of these quarts? Well, the fraction represented here with our shaded in area is 1/4. So 1 quart is 1/4 of a gallon. Number 14 asks, what fraction of 1 quart is 3 cups? Well, if we look up into our chart and we find 1 quart, we can see that 1 quart is equal to 4 cups. So if we have our 1 quart, and within that 1 quart we have 4 cups, it asks us what fraction of that quart is 3 cups. So we're going to fill in 3 pieces, and we have 3 of the 4 that are shaded. So 3 cups is 3/4 of 1 quart. I'd like you to pause the video here and work on 15 and 16 on your own. Give yourself a few minutes to work through those, and then we'll move on to number 17. Number 17 is a word problem, and it says, Caesar bought 2 bottles of juice that each hold 2 quarts, and another bottle that holds 1.5 gallons of juice. How many quarts of juice did he buy? Key word here, because our answer needs to be written in quarts. Our key word is quarts. So remember, we've got to convert everything to quarts before we add them together and come up with our answer. So Caesar bought 2 bottles of juice that each hold 2 quarts. So in each one of those 2 bottles, there's 2 quarts. So we have to multiply 2 times 2. And so he purchased 4 quarts. Then it asks us, or tells us, that he bought another bottle that's 1.5 gallons. So we have 1.5 gallons. And if we go to our chart here, we know that in each of those gallons, there's 4 quarts. So we're going to multiply our 1.5 gallons times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Put down my 0 and carry my 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And then I have to remember that I've got a decimal here, so I have to count how many numbers are to the right of the decimal. Well, I have 1. So I take my decimal point, move it in 1 spot, and it's 6 quarts of juice. Number 18 says, Samantha saw 2 bottles of ketchup at the store for the same price. One bottle contained 4 pints of ketchup, and the other contained 1.25 quarts of ketchup. Which bottle was the better bargain? So in order to compare these two to decide which one is a better bargain, we have to figure out which one's bigger. And that means we need to convert them both to the same unit of measurement. In this case, we can convert either way, but let's go to pints. So the first one we have 4 pints. And in the next one, we have 1.25 quarts. Well, if we look at our chart here, we know that in every one of those 1.25 quarts, there's 2 pints. So we're going to take our 1.25 and we're going to multiply it by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Put down your 0 and carry your 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and 2 times 1 is 2. Well, we have to figure out how many numbers are to the right of the decimal. Well, here we have 2, so we have to take our decimal and we move it over 1, 2 spots, and we have 2.5 pints. So we have 4 pints, and we're comparing it to 1.25 quarts, which is equal to 2.5 pints. And so 4 pints is the better bargain. When you look at number 19, you can see that up here I added a little different chart for you because I feel like this is a situation where a visual is helpful. It says a pitcher full of lemonade is full of lemonade. Which unit of liquid volume best describes the amount of lemonade in the pitcher, and explain? I felt like this was one where this picture up here in the right hand corner gives you a really good visual of how much pitcher of lemonade might hold. And I think there's 2 units of measurement that would work here. I think when we talk about it, you could have a pitcher that held a gallon of lemonade, but you could also have a pitcher that held a couple of quarts of lemonade as well. So I think that those are probably your 2 most logical measurements of liquid volume for a pitcher. And if you were looking at something that was a personal serving size, you'd be looking more like in pints or cups. So a pitcher is full of lemonade. Which unit of liquid volume best describes the amount of lemonade in the pitcher? And I would accept either gallons or quarts because the capacity for 1 gallon is 4 quarts. And so you could have something that would fall into either of those measurements of liquid volume. Once you've completed your assignment here, if you would please make sure you either send it back to me through Teams or you email it to me. I hope you all have a great day and everyone is staying healthy. Take care, and I miss you all.